According to the culture in Wollo, smoke is divided into two sorts, gacha smoke and bolokya smoke. Gacha smokes are sold in small quantities. They are crushed pieces of wood. We call them gacha smoke. Bolokya smoke is Weiba.
The Weiba tree, by its nature, is green and leafy throughout the year. No matter how dry the season is, the Weiba tree does not dry up and die and does not lose its leaves. It is a fertile, evergreen tree, so a woman who is fumigated with Weiba is believed by society to have a fertile womb. Weiba, by its nature, does not dry up. It has a sticky quality. When you peel the bark, it is yellow on the inside, so that is how it is regarded. It brings out complexion, it brings out moisture, it brings out beauty.
It cleanses her body. It also protects her from sickness and diseases.
Women maintain their beauty with it. They smear butter on their body. There are some liquids they drink. These things are very useful for the woman.
For sexual pleasure, her spirit, the pleasure is that. It is then after fumigation that you find a moment and say, how my wife was pleasurable.
It brings about well-being. We sleep well after fumigation. Our weak body regains its strength. We sweat, and we sweat it out.
It helps with returning the womb to its former state, softening the skin, relieving waist pain, and maintaining the menstrual cycle. It helps heal diseases related with internal reproductive organs.
It cleanses the body. It helps heal her body so as to avoid any injury. It restores well-being.
It helps to avoid wrinkles from the stomach, to grow longer hair. It is useful for many different things.
It cleanses the face and the body.
It is good for sleep and for health, but the morning's fumigation is good for beauty, if it has to be done twice. In general, the smoke is necessary both for the house and the woman. Full stop. There is a difference between when he sleeps with a pregnant wife and a nursing mother. The nursing mother is as pleasurable as chewing cat. The pregnant woman is like a banana. That is the difference when she sleeps with her husband.
It brings unwanted liquid out of the reproductive organs, so narrowing the female genitals. Thus it is excellent for a pleasurable sexual experience. Men enjoy that, they want it. So the community encourages her to use the smoke. Her husband, from the household, is the first one to encourage her.
It's tasty. It's attractive.
To have a pleasant smell for our husbands, our body needs to be firm and tight when it is grabbed. Our odour needs to be pleasant. We are recognised as a Wollowy for it, I think.
A woman fumigated with Weiba is suitable for her husband. It protects from disease. It is also lovely for the husband. After fumigation, to cuddle and sleep with the husband.
It is regarded as a method of helping a newlywed to have pleasure out of sex. For a woman who has not had sex before, the first time will be painful. Or for a young woman on her honeymoon, for the woman has not had sex before, it will be painful for her. Thus the smoke helps her to endure the pain. Sexual intercourse before fumigation and such after the third or second day of fumigation is hugely different. Because of this, her husband's best man makes sure that she is fumigated well. Her genitals that were injured during her first sexual experience, as well as her pain, will recover quickly. She would not feel backache or pain in her genitals. Thus, it makes her sexual experience with the husband painless and enjoyable.
A woman who has been fumigated and a woman who has not have different sexual experiences. This is the truth. It arouses the weak. Our genitals will be tight and sweet. It becomes pleasant. The man would not want to bed with anyone else other than her. It prevents underage marriages and promiscuousness. That's how prominent we consider it to be. Why would he sleep around if he is satisfied sexually with his wife? It has a good smell. It arouses the impotent.
The injury and pain that a woman with a newborn child suffered during labour will quickly heal and pass.
Weber is the first fumigating smoke for a new mother. 7 days after giving birth, she will start fumigating with pure Weber.
For a woman who has just given birth, Weber is recommended. The woman is fumigated daily for 40 consecutive days after giving birth. That is what is primarily useful for her.
For a woman who has just given birth that has impure fluids, it will help to avert that, and that wound will heal.
When I gave birth, I used to be fumigated 3 times a day. Early morning, before the birds start to sing, I eat porridge and go straight to the fumigation at about 5 a.m. Then during the day after lunch, because I want to have a good sleep afterward. Anyone who nurses me should be able to handle all these. This is what it's like in our area, Wollo. Then at night, after the cattle are in their shed at about 6 p.m. I will do the same, as my sister has mentioned. The length of fumigation is determined by your heartbeat, but I can go for up to 45 minutes of fumigation. The Weber that is being smoked needs to be finished. When I come out of my 40 days period, my body will undoubtedly exhibit positive changes. My husband would proclaim that he had nursed me when I used the smoke. It also increases appetite. Whether you give me a liquid porridge, water or injera, I should be able to consume it when I am done. I sweat when I sleep after eating something. I sweat 3 times. When I come out, I take a bath and go back in, so it is 3 times that I sweat.
It is good for a woman if she uses Weber after giving birth. It is good for her waist. The fumigation is accompanied by liquid porridge, not just the smoke alone. In our cultural practice, the lady's body will be smeared with butter. Then she will begin Weber fumigation. It's good if she's fumigated until she comes out of the 40-day period.
For a woman who just gave birth, yes, there is Weber. There is that which is purchased from the lowlands. There is Yeret Sir. There is Tunjit. With a mixture of all these, in fact, she would look more beautiful, more so than what she would look like after eating well.
They do that when they give birth. I, for one, will fumigate my daughter if she gives birth. The infant, until he gains strength, will be fumigated partially.
She is fumigated in a specially designated area. The smoke does not disperse to the child, nor does it to other people in the household. She's fumigated there, fed there, washed there. She does all these things before she comes out.
There is a particular hole that is used for Weber fumigation. This hole is called Bolocchia.
We place the Weber in here. And this is where we sit. We sit like this. Now we use this for our legs. We take off our clothes and smear our bodies with butter. This is how we are fumigated. It is called Bolocchia smoke. We dug a hole and clay was placed in the hole. After the clay was placed in the hole, it was smeared. Then, after a seat is positioned on top of the hole, I would not want layers of cloth to cover my body. I need the layers at the back of me, like a leather wrap. After it is made, it is buried underground. Another method is using a clay pot which is placed outside.
There are two ways you can dress up: leather, and there is a commercial one with a zipper that does not require any specialist. She can just put it on herself. Because the smoke kind of burns her skin, she needs to smear butter on her body and take a shower afterwards. She covers herself up to her neck or zips up if it is a zipper robe. There will be extra layers of bed sheets and blankets.
This is the proper wrap for fumigation, which is called Jane Day. It is leather. We do this. It is done like this.
We do it like this. Another layer of cloth is used to keep the smoke in.
When a woman gets married and loses her virginity during the night, she will be fumigated in the morning. This helps the recovery of any injury that may have been caused by friction during intercourse. She will do the fumigation 3 times in the morning, during the day, and at night.
I do not do fumigation. For a woman who is not married, fumigation is forbidden.
As I told you earlier, to start Weber fumigation, the first criterion is for a woman to start having intercourse. According to cultural practice, a virgin or a young girl does not fumigate at all. She's known as the girl, or the beautiful according to Wollo's expression. It is forbidden for them to do fumigation.
I am a student, so if a young woman over 18 years of age wants to get married, she can fumigate.
This continues until the end of her honeymoon. Then afterwards she becomes an everyday user of fumigation. Basically, a woman begins fumigation when she's on her honeymoon. She begins when she gets married and then carries on the practice of fumigation daily.
Many women in Addis Ababa are doing fumigation. It is because nowadays they are considering it as a modern practice. However, I doubt if the younger generation in their 20s and 30s do it. For instance, if you tell my daughter to fumigate either herself or her clothes, she will consider it to be an outdated practice.
I do not have the intention.
The wood has to be prepared. The wood will be wrapped so that it does not lose its moisture. Otherwise, it needs to be pounded freshly every day. It is crushed as big as the size of the hole. So the woman who is undergoing the fumigation can place the pounded Weber in the hole.
Weber does not have a medically quantified measurement for consumption. If we use it as medicine, there is no prescribed dose.
Dried Weber causes harm. If it is dry, it can only be used as smoke for the house, but not for the woman.
She fumigates herself with Kebericho, Agasmin, Pegasus, Edabuda, mixed with Weber. You measure the Weber using your 4 fingers. It is measured and cut like this. Then it is pounded to make it perforate. Then together with Eritzer, which means sieve, it is placed on top. It filters the smoke. If you measure it like that and do it all like that, the woman will become the woman.
This is the pot. It's not buried in the ground. It is a fumigator in a modern house. Next, what you see here are Agam Sir, Gomoro Sir, and Ketetana Sir. This is Weber and this is Erit, the female Erit. This is Weber, which is chopped like this into a size that fits into the pot. This is Bisana. We have got fresh Bisana in our compound. This Erit serves as a filter medium. It is pounded and it rolls around the fire like a bandage. I will show you how it is rolled. This is Agam Sir, Gomoro Sir, and Ketetana Sir. The butter you see on her body is smeared all over it. Then her head is smeared with butter, as you can see. All this butter melts down into her body as the smoke streams upwards. To avoid the unpleasant smell, either a leaf or a piece of newspaper is placed on top of it. Then her head is covered like this, just like jendo. If she's wearing the jendo on her left, then it goes to the left. She wears it like this. Then you tighten up the blanket so that it doesn't come loose. It should cover completely to avoid the smoke from escaping. Now it is placed inside. This is the smoke that causes her body to heal quickly. It tightens up her body, makes her very pretty. She will have a body like iron. She drinks liquid porridge, milk and soup while she is undergoing the fumigation. And when she comes out, she eats hot porridge or furfur or something. She has to eat something after she has taken a rest. All the butter that was here is gone. It has melted, as has the butter on her body. Now it is fully skinned. It is steaming it and removing it. Nothing remains of the impurity on her body.
There are some who use the smoke until it is completely burned out. There are also some who will fall asleep due to its relaxing effect. If there is anyone with a heart problem, they do it less intensely, for 10 or 20 minutes depending upon their capabilities. It brings out sweat, and the sweat may cause an unpleasant feeling, so if the woman has a heart problem, she needs food. There are many women who would have porridge near them and eat by slipping their hands out. These are the ones who know its benefit. While they are still seated there, they only rise when it is done. That woman does not fall even if you push her over. Her stomach does not show wrinkles. It helps to grow hair. It has many benefits.
Men cannot undergo Weber fumigation. It is forbidden within society. There is a reason for it. If a man is fumigated, it is believed that his sperm weakens. There is a huge amount of heat. There is a huge amount of smoke. So if a man is fumigated by that smoke, his sperm weakens and he faces erectile dysfunction. Due to this belief, it is not allowed for men.
Weber prevents cancer. Any kind of illness. It prevents 12 different diseases. Everything about it is healthy.
Weber smoke is primarily useful for the strength of women.
A man who lives with a woman who does not undergo fumigation is believed to have a problem. He is not believed to be a good man because they use it as a means of illness prevention. For instance, with illnesses like malaria. A freshly fumigated woman right away holds her husband in her arms and sleeps with him. Because of her sweat and fresh smoke fumigation, he will be cured. They say it is just like taking paracetamol and sweating it out through sleep. As she sweats, she brings him tightly close to her body. He will sweat as much as she sweats, then he will be cured from his illness. It is a way of getting cured from illnesses. In our society, they not only maintain their own health, but their husbands as well.
Even if the woman is not young but is mature, she may experience back pain or leg ache. She undergoes smoke fumigation. It is good.
For women who are going to give birth or who are ill, it strengthens the waist, the spinal cord. For women with back pain, the use of Weber is generally advised. Weber is an effective medicine. Beyond the smoke, it is mainly useful for women, particularly for cervical cancer. It prevents different illnesses.
It is our cultural belief. The loveliness my house has after the smoke is not the same as before the smoke. It is not the same. The beauty of a house and a woman cannot be revealed unless they are exposed to smoke.
Coffee without a snack, a woman without smoke. We do not accept the coffee ceremony without the presence of smoke.
A woman who does not undergo fumigation on a regular basis is not considered a good or skillful woman. Socially, all married women, and only married women, use Weber. The start of sexual intercourse is the first reason to undergo Weber fumigation.
Weber for the women and smoke for the house. A woman and a house do not become pleasant unless they are exposed to smoke.